Hello everyone, this is Dr. Kishore Kumar. Today I am going to discuss about the structure of a gene. So, this is a very important concept that every student should understand because we are having many different doubts about the genes and their basic terminology and their basic characters, right? So, in this particular session, I'm going to discuss you only the fine structure of the gene and the properties, and which is very important to understand better understanding of molecular biology. Even though if we are reading a very big mechanisms in the molecular biology, even though many of the people even they can't clearly understand what is gene and what is the basic terminology which are related to the gene. So that's what here I'm trying to explain about the basic structural events and their characters and the types of the genes in this particular session. So friends, today my topic for presentation is fine structure of the gene. So, the fine structure of the gene, this everyone should understand. First, we will understand about the structure of the gene or definition of the gene. This is very important. So, what do you mean by gene? So, this everyone has to be understand. The gene is nothing but which is a very specific sequence that is present on DNA and which is required to make a specific protein is called gene. That's all, which is a very simple definition that everyone has to be understand, right? So gene is nothing but which is a sequence of DNA that can code for a protein or that can code for a functional protein is called gene. Clear? Right. So we should understand then which is a sequence of DNA mean what do you mean by DNA sequence? This is also very important. But anyway, we will see very clear structure about DNA that is double helical structure in the coming classes. DNA will be made up of sugar, ribose sugar, and nitrogen bases, next phosphate. So here, when we want to write the DNA sequence or when we want to write the gene sequence, we always represent only the nitrogen bases. Clear? So you should remember the simple form of gene can be represented in the sequence of nitrogen bases that are always linear. Clear? Done. So if you see the gene types, right? So the basic definition of gene is to be like this. So which is a very specific sequence of DNA that can code for a protein is called gene. Fine. Now, if you see the different types of the genes, so the genes can be classified majorly on based on three different characters or three different criteria. Right? One is based on organism, second one is based on function, third one is their behavior. Clear? So all these three things which I am going to elaborate in this coming slides, right? First one, which is based on organism. As we know that this nature is having majorly two different type of organisms as we call prokaryotics and eukaryotic organisms. So here, I give an example, prokaryotic, as many of us we know about examples, that is bacteria and cyanobacteria. So these are very simple organisms where that simple organisms, the DNA can be present in a single chromosome, right? Even that particular DNA will also carries the genes, right? So the genes can be based on organism, two different types. One is prokaryotic genes and eukaryotic genes. Of course, if you compare with the structural part of this gene in prokaryotic and eukaryotic, definitely there will be a variations, and the particular variations we are going to discuss in the coming sessions, because that is very important when we are reading for the prokaryotic molecular biology as well as eukaryotic molecular biology, right? So friends, you should remember this. This is prokaryotic genes are different than the eukaryotic genes in terms of certain characters, right? That we will discuss in the coming classes. And the second classification, which is nothing but types of gene based on activity. This is also important. So based on activity mean how long this gene can be expressed in a cell. So that we call activity. So according to this classification, there are two different kinds that can be present. One we call housekeeping genes, right? Second one we call specific genes. So housekeeping genes are nothing but which are always active in a cell. Clear? Which are always active in a cell. That particular genes we call housekeeping genes. The best example for this is glycolytic enzymes, right? So glycolytic enzymes are nothing but proteins. These proteins has to be synthesized from the genes. So the glycolytic enzyme coding genes, which are best example for the housekeeping genes, because the major aim of glycolysis is to produce the energy, that cellular energy, so that each and every cell has to be required. Clear? Then second type of the gene is specific genes. So specific genes, the name itself indicates these genes which are getting active only during some specific conditions. This is also very important. Whenever the cell required a special kind of function, if you just remember that, is there any kind of stress that cell is that cell is facing? So definitely the stress related genes has to be expressed, right? This is which is related with a specific condition of the cell or specific condition of the organism. So these type of genes we call specific genes. All right, this is based on the activity, and there is one more this classification that is based on behavior. This is also very important. So based on behavior, majorly the cells, all the in a cell, the genes can be classified in 7 different varieties. More or less, these will have the interconnected each other. But here I am trying to explain the basic character of this particular categories, right? So first one is basic genes. So what do you mean by basic genes? This we should understand. The basic genes are nothing but these can be present at all the time in the cell. Like as I explained that, which is glycolysis genes, citric acid cycle genes are certain genes which are important for the structural maintenance of the cell, and certain genes which are important for the energy yielding mechanisms. So these are all comes with the basic genes. Clear? Then second category in this is lethal genes, which is very important. So lethal genes are nothing but these genes, if that can present in an organism or that can present in the cell, that can cause death of that particular cells, right? These particular genes we call lethal genes. Of course, each and everything will have an examples, but here I am not going to be complicated with giving an examples, because the same example, the same gene will also be involved in a different activity. So you try to remember only the terminology which I am giving, right? The lethal genes are nothing but these are the genes which can make a change. So you can imagine that. So lethal genes, does the genes is important for the death of the cell or organism? Obviously, that can be possible because of the mutations or because of recombinations. So because of these mutations, the particular gene is encoding a protein. The protein is important for the cell survival or cell development. If that is not present, definitely the cell will go for death, right? So in this particular character is associated with these lethal genes. And the third one is multiple genes. So here the multiple genes is a good example. If you see the multiple genes and cumulative genes, so both are related with the multiple genes, but the ultimate phenotypic results will be different. So the multiple genes is nothing but these are independent genes that can code for the same character, right? That are multiple genes. But if you take the cumulative genes are nothing but these are also be on individual genes, but together that can interact and will code for the what do you say, the mixed characters, that we call cumulative genes. So these genes we also call as polygenes. So here the best example is ABO blood group. Human blood group is the best example for cumulative genes, right? Then next category is pleiotropic genes. What do you mean by pleiotropic? Pleiotropic means genes that can code for a protein. The protein is generally which can be modified after a synthesis of the protein. Then only the protein will give certain characters or certain phenotype. That particular type of genes we call pleiotropic genes. Clear? Then next one is modifying genes. So modifying genes mean you should understand here not modification at the cellular or at the gene level, the modification at the protein level. Clear? So this gene will code for a protein. The protein will go for certain modifications, then only it will get a character. So this particular thing we call modifying genes. Clear? Then the last one is inhibitory gene. So inhibitory gene means this particular gene will control the expression of other gene that is present at the far from this inhibitory gene. This we should remember. All right. So friends, inhibitory gene is nothing but this is a gene that can control the activity of other gene. So that we call as inhibitory gene. Clear? Then, so these are all 7 different type of the characters that is based on behaviors. Clear? We have seen based on the organism, based on the activity, and this is based on the behavior. Clear? Right. And so if you see the timeline discovery of certain concepts which are related with the genes, here I kept only the few important landmark theories or landmark concepts which are pretty much associated with this gene concepts, right? So first one, the gene concept was given by the scientist is Mendel in 1866, where he called it as a unit factor. He has given the name is a factor that controls the specific phenotypic trait. So he has not given the term that is gene. So instead of gene, he called as a factor. Clear? So this factor will specify for a phenotypic trait is called gene according to his concept. And later on, 1902, the Garrard has given one concept that is one gene, one metabolic black theory. Right? One gene, one metabolic black. So this was the theory which he was proposed, and this is gain attention for the many molecular biologists around the globe to try to understand about this gene structure and gene natures. Right? After that, in 1909, Janssen has first time he termed the coin that is gene. So he has the one who given the name gene. His name is Janssen. Right? In 1940, Beadle and Tatum. This Beadle and Tatum, they have given an important concept that we call one gene, one enzyme theory. Right? This is like one gene, one enzyme theory, which is to be popular quite some time, and this can be given by the Beadle and Tatum. And 1957, the Ingham is a scientist. He has given a little modification to the Beadle and Tatum theory. So has given new theory that is one gene, one polypeptide. Right? Friends, these are very important concepts which are exclusively related to the gene. Clear? And you should remember for each and everything, because these are all important for your entrances. Right? Your PG entrances, your even the PhD, ICMR, UGC, even CSIR entrances also, this thing should be important, because we are studying always the gene regulatory mechanisms in a beautiful way, but the basic concepts which we will forget. Right? So friends, this you should have to be remembered. Clear? Then. So there are few terms which are frequently used for these genes. So here I am trying to give in a very short to explain the particular terms. First one is recon. So the name itself indicates recon, so which is involving in recombination, right? So if you see, the definition goes like this: it is the smallest unit of DNA capable of undergoing crossing over and recombination. So the particular part of the DNA, if it is going to the recombination and crossing over, then we call that particular genes are recon, right? You can see in the example which I have given, so that D and E, so the last two genes, the D is exchanging to E and the other E is exchanging in the down chromosome. So this is like a recombination. Clear? So recombination is nothing but that is related with the recon. And so one more terminology, that is complan. Complan is nothing but it is the unit of complementation, right? So these are all different characteristic of genes, different characteristic of DNA that we are going to see in the coming videos. What are this recombination and why it is to be important, and what are different proteins that can be involved in this, and what are different theories which explain about these things, right? Then, so you remember that recon and complan. Then the third one is muton, right? The muton is nothing but which is the smallest unit of DNA which undergoes mutation, right? Friends, all we know that about the mutation. Mutation is nothing but which is a sudden change in the gene structure is called mutation, right? It is to be delimited to the single nucleotide, right? So which is we call SNP. If it is a single nucleotide, we call SNP, single nucleotide polymorphism, and there will be many different terminology which is related with the muton. But you should remember that there is a change in the gene sequence we call muton. Clear? Then the last thing is cistron. The cistron is nothing but which is a functional part of the gene, right? If you call particular gene, the gene should not have everything should be coded in the polypeptide. Only certain part of the gene is coded in the polypeptide, and rest of the part will be important for the regulation and expression. All right. Here, the part of the gene which is coding for the polypeptide we call cistron. It's clear, all right? Then this is to be 100 nucleotides side pair to the 30,000 nucleotide pairs, all right? So the cistron is the actual part that is to be involved in the synthesis of protein, right? Complan, recon, muton, and cistron. These are the four different terms which we frequently used in for the concept of genes. Clear? Then, friends, and you should be understand there will be some different kind of the properties, or we call functions that are associated with the genes. These things we call that silent features of the gene. So if you understand, these are nearly 6 to 7 important points which I've made here. So friends, if you understand these things, definitely the molecular biology is very easy to be understand, right? So first one, the number of genes in an organism is more than the number of chromosomes. Clear, all right? So if you take humans will have a 23 pairs of chromosome, but don't think that only we are having 23 pairs of genes, all right? It's not clear. So the number of genes in an organism which are more than the number of chromosomes, hence several genes are located in a single chromosome, that we should understand. Clear? Then if you see the second important point, these are arranged in a linear order like beads on a string. So what do you mean by linear order, which I've already explained? How do you write the gene structure? The gene structure we will write only with the writing of nitrogen bases. So these are all like a linear order that we should understand. And next important point is, these occupies a specific position we call locus. Locus is the position that can be present in the chromosome where exactly that is code for one gene. Clear? Locus is nothing but a gene that can present in the chromosome. Then, if the position of a gene changes, definitely the character will also change. This is also be important. This is everything we will clearly understand when we are going into the coming videos, right? Then, the next one is, this can be existing in a alternative forms. The gene can exist in alternative form, we call alleles. So if we want to write a gene, the gene we should write two alleles. Two alleles mean one has come from father, one will come from mother. So these are nothing but alternative form of alleles which will code for the same character is called gene, right? So these can capable of combined together or can be replicated during a cell division. Obviously, if the cell division, the chromosomes are replicating, is nothing but the DNA is replicating, that is nothing but the genes are replicating. Clear? It's a very simple point. It seems to be simple point. It has a lot of meaning, right? Then the last important one is, this can undergo a sudden change in the position composition called mutation, right? Sometimes what will happen, there is a change in the gene, there is a change in the sequence of the gene, that is nitrogen bases, then that can code for a different kind of protein we call a mutated protein, or will call mutation in a gene. And sometimes the gene that can present in one chromosome, it has to be take it off and will be fused with the other chromosome, that is also be change in the position of the gene. All right, these changing in the position, changing in the gene sequence definitely will have a greater role in many different kind of properties, right? That anyway we will understand in a very vast manner in the coming sessions, right, friends? So with this 6 to 7 important points, I am trying to concluding it, right? So this is to be a very basic concept, everyone has to be understand. Okay, friends, then see you in the next class. See you, take care, bye bye.